Hi, Doctor.
How are you?
Good.
How's it going?
Another trip to the doctor.
Hi.
Vanessa
Nice to
Porter
see you
has
again.
been here before. But at 3 years old, the poking and prodding is nothing short of terrifying.
I'm done. Dr. P's done.
I know.
Every morning she wakes up with a pounding headache and her forehead hurts her and normally one or both of her eyes hurt her.
On August 25th, while at St. Mary's Playhouse, a daycare in Greensburg, this console television, which was resting on a makeshift stand, fell on Vanessa. Her mother, Missy, was called.
The daycare worker there said that there had been an accident and they thought maybe Vanessa had broken her nose. The TV somehow had fell on top of her.
Missy rushed her daughter to Decauter Memorial Hospital, but the injuries were so severe she was flown to Riley Hospital.
I really didn't think it was her when I walked in and seen her until she started talking, and I really kind of looked at her, and it was...
She was so swollen.
Yeah, it didn't look like my little girl.
Vanessa spent 12 days at Riley, 11 in intensive care. She suffered multiple facial fractures. Her nose was crushed. This illustration shows broken eye sockets, now replaced with plastic. A broken nose, now supported by 3 titanium plates.
How old are you?
Fortunately, her parents say her brain was not injured.
We were lucky that it hit where it did. It could have ended a lot worse than what it has, but still not good.
The unsecured TV never came up during a building inspection 3 months before the accident. That's because St. Mary's isn't scrutinized like non-religious daycare centers. It's run by the Archdiocese of Indianapolis, and as a child care ministry must be registered but not licensed. Parents are supposed to sign this notice informing them of the special status of ministries. The Archdiocese says the Porters signed the form. They say they never saw it.
They don't have to put anywhere that says they're not licensed. You know what I mean? So you would assume they're licensed.
Indiana law requires all licensed daycare centers to follow these 60 pages of rules and regulations. Everything from criminal background checks for employees to first aid and CPR training. Even very minute details like how to change a baby's diaper. It's all included here. But daycare ministries only have to follow these 4 pages of very basic fire and sanitation rules.
If St. Mary's had to follow the regulations of a licensed center which doesn't allow TVs in toddler areas, the Porters say Vanessa never would have been injured. They want Indiana law changed so all daycares have to follow the same rules.
Above all, I think we just don't want any other children to get hurt by an accident that shouldn't have happened.
It's time to change the law and put some more teeth in it.
Carol Stein, former deputy director of the State Bureau of Children, now a consultant on children's issues, says all daycares need the same regulations.
My belief is government belongs in the lives of children to keep them safe.
So help me God. Currently in Indiana, there are more registered ministries than licensed daycare centers.
I think there's a fallacy if we say, let's just make more laws and let's make more rules and everybody's going to be safe. They won't.
Republican State Representative Jackie Walorski of Lakeville, who's a member of the Committee on Child Care, says the state's rules and regulations about how children are cared for are constantly evolving. But regulating ministry daycares brings up a fundamental question.
Does the state of Indiana want to get into the business of regulating churches and the things that they do? And that actually is a broader question, and that's not yet been posed.
I don't want churches to be out of the child care business. I just want them to do the right thing.
And the right thing is?
To meet standards.
That's what the Porters want. They've taken more precautions at home. The TV is secured and now the dog stays outside. They want to make sure Vanessa's fragile face is protected.
Yeah, the bruising's gone somewhat, the swelling's down, but everything's still being broken on the inside.
An Archdiocese spokesman says after the accident, the TV at St. Mary's was bolted to the floor and that all other Archdiocese-run daycares statewide were inspected for safety by church staff. While Vanessa's trips to the doctor will continue, her healing is well underway.
That's the main thing we're worried about right now is her getting better and this law being changed.
They hope their first-hand experience will be the last.
The rules need to be the same for everyone. I just hope that someone realizes that and it changes before it does happen to someone else.
The state launched an investigation into what happened to Vanessa only after doctors reported her injuries. You see, state law does not require ministry daycares to report when a child is hurt, but licensed centers must. Indiana is one of just 12 states that have a special licensing exemption for ministry daycares. If you'd like to find out if your child's daycare is licensed, just go to our website, WTHR.com. Jeremy Brilliant, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.